Hello once again everyone, Original Blood Ace here. This time my video is a Pokemon X review. I guess in a way you could kind of say this covers Y partially, but not fully. So mostly Pokemon X. So let's get into this. Pros first of all. The character models, they remind me very much so of Pokemon Stadium, just in better quality. So that's definitely a plus. The length of the game is quite impressive. I mean, it's typical Pokemon, but just to beat the Elite Four and the Champion took me about 38 hours, so that's a good amount of time. Uh, that's definitely a plus. Then the story, it's good overall. Though Team Flare is rather odd, I guess. I kind of miss Team Rocket, but Team Flare is all about looking good and saving themselves and making everyone else miserable, blah blah blah. So kind of weird, but and their music, not the greatest. I think Team Plasma actually had the coolest battle music, but let's move on. And even though there's only like 70 new Pokemon, not including the Mega Evolutions, they're all pretty cool looking. There's no broccoli monkeys like Pansage or ice cream cone Pokemon like Vanillux this time, even though I didn't have an issue with Vanillux. But point is, the new ones do look cool. And I probably haven't seen them all yet, but I've seen most of them. Mega Evolutions are awesome. There's, I think, 39 or 29, somewhere around there, different Mega Evolutions, and I have pretty much every Mega Stone I can get in X. Well, I have everyone I can get in X. There's still certain ones I can't get until I get through the game on Y, like, what is it? Mega Aggron Stone, not Pinsir, Heracrosses and stuff like that. Plus, I don't have the other Generation 1 starter Mega Stones. I don't have Venusaurs and Venusaurs and Charizards. But you can buy those apparently, so I'll get those eventually. So the Mega Evolutions are good. Xerneas, the legendary fairy Pokemon, the only fairy legendary Pokemon, is amazing. I have it at level 72, 73 around there, and it just takes out, even Elite Four's Pokemon, some of them with just one hit. It's pretty nice. The XP Share All, or whatever it's called, XP All, I don't forget what it's called. It's a nice addition. I still would rather have... I can't remember if I heard right that you can get that and the regular XP shares that you can just give to other certain Pokemon. Because there's certain Pokemon where I'm like, I don't want you going any higher level, but they still get experience anyway. And then you're like, well, just put them in the box, but that's not how it works. I mean, I could do it that way, but I want them with me. Like, for example, Pidgeot, who I can use to fly around. Being able to catch Eevee is a nice little thing, but I mean, that's kind of was to be expected. I already have, like, 9 Eevees. I have Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Leafeon, Glaceon, Sylveon. I just need Umbreon and Espeon. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. The online for Pokemon X and Y has drastically been improved. Just the ability to do like a trade instantly, like a Wonder Trade, or with people on your friends list, or the acquaintances and all that stuff. Nintendo, take notice of Game Freak. That's how you improve online on a system, or on a game. So let's get into the cons now. There's a few here, but we'll just get into it. First of all, the roller skates. I like them in general, but they're not a big annoyance, but they can get annoying when you're in like small maze-like areas. You keep getting snagged on corners, and it kind of gets frustrating, but it's not a huge deal. The frame rate issue, some people have mentioned. During battles, it is a frame rate issue a bit. During some animations, it'll go down a little bit. But again, for me personally, like, it's noticeable, but it's really not a huge game-breaking thing. Another con, even though this one does not affect me at all, is that glitch in Pokemon X and Y. I think it's only digital copies, but where if you save in Luminois City and then turn off your game and turn it back on and try and boot it up, your save file is corrupted, which apparently Nintendo's already up to doing a fix, and it'll be out next week or something. But, I mean, that doesn't bother me, so that's not a con for me. But, let's see what else. Post-game legendaries. There's no, at least as far as I can tell, there's no new 3 legendaries. Like, before you had the 3 birds, Articuno, Moltres, Zapdos. Then you had the dogs, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. And then there was the 3 sacred guys that were like Cobalion, Virizion, and Terrakion. And then there was the 3 cloud guys, Landorus, Thundurus, and what was the other one? Landorus was the final one. Tornadus, and I forget the other one, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's no 3 legendary trio in the 6th gen, which is kind of lame. Hopefully they don't just do Pokemon Z where they introduce them. That'd be kind of annoying. And it doesn't seem like there's any new legendaries besides the main legendary. I could be completely wrong, or maybe they'll just release them later as like patches or whatever, or event Pokemon or whatever. But kind of lame. Old legendaries are back, but for example, you only get one of the legendary bird Pokemon, Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres, by depending on what your starter was. I chose Froakie, so I get Moltres. Now it's kind of funny how I found Moltres. I finally raised up my Ampharos, and I have the Ampharos Mega Evolution Stone. So I just wanted to try him out. So I just picked a random spot on the map, flew there, went into the grass, and I was just gonna, Mega Evolve and test it out. And lo and behold, I ran into a fucking Moltres, and that was after the champion I beat, before he shows up. But of course, he didn't even give me a chance to attack. He just instantly ran away. So I'm not sure how that works to catch him, because if he doesn't even let you do an attack, how are you supposed to use Mean Look on him so he can't run away? But whatever, so if you chose Froakie as your starter, then Moltres is what you can get after the game. If you chose Chespin, which I did in Y, then you can get Articuno, so it looks like in Y I'll be getting Articuno. And if you chose Fennekin, you'll get Zapdos. So, whatever. Now I can't remember though, when the Pokebank thing happens, I can just transfer over all my Pokemon from Black 2 to, what do you call it? X. And I might have Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno already on there from being on Black 1 and 2, and then that was transferred from somewhere else probably. Moving on to another con here. Overall, only 70 Pokemon are new, like I mentioned. It's disappointing. It should have been at least 100. Like an even 100 would have been nice. Now, granted, if you count the other like 30 or 39 Mega Evolutions as new Pokemon, then I guess technically you have around 100, but meh. The game not being in 3D outside of battles is kind of a thing. I didn't even give it much thought before the game came out, but it's like it's a 3DS game, but it's kind of in a way the least 3D. Kind of makes you think, well, this could have been just on the DS. Well, actually, I guess the 3DS is stronger than the 3DS or the DS, but the issue, it's not like I can accept this and I can give them a pass on this because I know that the 3DS just isn't strong enough to be able to make a Pokemon game of this size in full 3D. It's just not going to happen. Maybe the next handheld. The Pokemon Champion. Pokemon Champion. That was a disappointment. Very lame. I was just like, you know what? I realized we haven't seen who the Pokemon Champion is throughout the whole game yet. I haven't, like normally you'd run into her and he or she introduce themselves, and they'd be like, oh, I'm the champion, blah, 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 and I hope to fight you one day. And all I heard was like, when you're fighting the Elite Four, it's like, the champion is a girl. And I was like, well, who the heck could it be? And then so you go there and you find out, and again, spoiler, so, if you don't want to hear this, fast forward the next like 5 seconds of the video. But it's the movie star girl from the cafe that was talking with Lysander, and she was just disappointing. I mean, she does have a Mega Gardevoir she uses at the end, which is kind of cool, but Xerneas took it out with one hit, so it wasn't even a challenge. That's about it. So I'm gonna have to say overall, Pokemon X and Y, even with all that said, the negatives and everything, even because like I listed 6 or 7 of them there, those really don't affect the rating that I'm personally giving the game. So for Pokemon X, and I guess you could say Y, definitely the best game of the year in my opinion. Like, period. Fuck you, GTA 5, don't care. I'm giving Pokemon X a 9.75 out of 10. Now you're like, what? Only a frickin' 0.25 deduction for all those negativities? Most of those are just, little nitpicking things that aren't game-breaking glitches or anything like that. It's just personal preferences, so that's why it's not a huge issue. So yeah, I highly recommend this game to anybody who has a 3DS or even a 2DS. But I guess that's about going to do it for this episode, so stay tuned. This, as always, is Original Blood Ace. More videos coming soon.